Hey, it's Christmas Day. It is. It's Christmas Day. Welcome. It's Don't At Me. I am your host, Daniel J. Dakich, and I've got my Indiana shirt on. Why? Because Indiana's going to roll today, baby. They're going to roll St. Mary's, and we're going to get into that. I got one bet. Now, I know you guys want to bet everything, and please feel free. But mine is a road to 5,000. Last year, on this day, this is an anniversary. Google Dakich DoorDash. I lost $4,000 last year on this day right here. Opening day, NCAA tournament. 3 teams got me. Live betting, Purdue, Ohio State, and Texas. They got me. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, Friday morning, and told my wife in a sweat, I got to pay my family back. That's too much money to lose. So I went to the hardware store, filled out an application. My stepson told me about DoorDashing. I signed up. I DoorDashed for 6 months to pay off that $4,000, but I paid that off. Got criticized in the media by all the little media twerps, because that's what media twerps do. I mean, the little pains in the ass on Twitter, hey, Dakich, bring me a sandwich. Hell, I'll bring you a sando, but you better tip. A couple guys gave me $100 tips. It's a fun time, actually, and I still do it because I like getting into my car and going. I do. So at the end of the day, I got no problem with nothing. Anyway, but we're making it all up. The road to $5,000 got helped yesterday. If you watch this show, you had UVA minus 2.5. You had Wake Forest minus 9. And in the NCAA tournament, you had Wright State. We parlayed them all. I can show it to you. I did not take Toledo. I didn't take Toledo. No, what I do is this. I am not your average slap blank media guy that says stuff and doesn't show. Here is my account, from yesterday. As you see, winners. There's UVA. There's the parlay. There's Wright State. There's Wright State. And then today, I'm not showing you because I got to tease you. That's what we do. When I lose, I'll tell you. When I win, I'll tell you. When I screw up, I'll tell you. When I do good, I'll tell you. I mean, I am the most unique media individual you will ever come across because all these little slaps that are in the media make predictions and never go back. If I lose, I'll tell you. I had to go DoorDash. All right, couple things from Deportes yesterday. That's sports. I took 2 years of Spanish in college, 2 more in high school. I'm very well versed. Baker Mayfield, possibly out of Cleveland. All right, here's the deal. He's gone. I mean, there ain't no possibly. Yeah, I'm reading all the idiots. I'm on one about the media because they're such jackasses. You just can't deal with them, but I digress. Baker Mayfield wrote his little mea culpa or whatever it was to Cleveland because Baker Mayfield talks. Baker Mayfield will fit in perfectly with the Colts. All the Colts do is talk. Blah, blah, blah. It's like I used to tell my kids about my ex-wife. What do you hear when you hear mommy talk? Blah, 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 blah. All the Colts do is talk. Colts make a trade. The media says Chris Ballard's the smartest dude in the world. Just win something. Just win. Baker Mayfield's perfect. There's no way he's going. That ship has sailed. Unless they have some serious meetings. Mayfield did what he does, write this letter to the Cleveland media or to the Cleveland fans. Just talk. Why aren't guys adults anymore? Why aren't we adults? I'm going to write a letter because they're talking to Deshaun Watson. The ship sailed. He's out of there. He'll end up at Indy. And we get a guy that just talks. Yeah, I know he's a little scrappy. I know, a little scrappy guy. Baker Mayfield. Yeah, great. But he'll end up in Indy because Indy supports talking, not doing. And I hope he's great. I do. I want Indy to be great. Make Indy great. But it's perfect. But he ain't going back to Cleveland. That just is not happening. Not after all that. Deshaun Watson, who knows where he goes? This is a funny thing about Deshaun Watson. 22 civil cases, now it's no big deal. Really? It's no big deal that a dude has 22 civil cases pending against him. Hell, it was a big deal for me when I didn't go in a pool with some crazy-ass professor a year ago. National news. Dakich, misogynist. I just ain't going in a pool. That's the opposite of assault. I mean, hey, man, it's amazing to me what goes on in this world. But, hey, all you GMs out there, here's what football is, right? The coach and the league, they wrap themselves around the Army. Man, we're the military. We're for good old USA, except, of course, guy's got 22 pending civil case. Dan, innocent till proven guilty. Yeah, would you feel that way if he was a backup corner? No, you wouldn't. Just stop. His talent outweighs his problems for you all. And he wasn't that good a quarterback. No, he's top 5. Team went 4-12. Quarterback-driven league. Well, but what had happened? Okay, what had happened was, name me a great quarterback that went 4-12. I'll sit here, I'll wait, but he's great. That's why I'm here. Hey, even if nobody watches this, when Dylan clips this off and puts it out, there'll be like 20,000 people watch this, and they'll be like, yeah, Dakich pretty smart, but I hate him. He's mean on Twitter. The world is jackassery. It is. Von Miller to the Bills. Good for Von Miller. Got a 6-year deal. I think Von Miller's older than me, but he got a 6-year deal. Von Miller's smart. Hey, look, if I'm going to be out of Denver, which is, home base, then I'm going to go find a title, which he did, and now I'm going to turn that title into a long-term contract on a team that can also win a title, which the Bills can, except for this. They're still the Buffalo Bills. Make no mistake. They are still the Buffalo Bills. And that AFC, it's a mother. It's a mother of a mother. It's a mother's brother. We got a monster for you today. Allison Williams is going to join us. Todd Frazier's getting the sad out. We tried him yesterday. We'll try him today. We'll see if that whole thing works out. But he gets the sad out, man. Rutgers basketball. Look, as soon as the clock got past midnight, and now it's St. Patty's Day, which it is. Happy St. Patty's Day to you. Notre Dame's not losing. They ain't losing on St. Patty's Day. What we talking about here? Ain't happening. But anyway, Rutgers basketball, tough one. Oh, man. I gave a speech up to 900 to 1,000 of my closest friends up in my hometown, Gary Oldtimers, Gary, Indiana, driving back listening. And it was heartbreaking. And I don't even care about either team. I care about Rutgers because Todd Frazier I like, and I wanted Rutgers to win. And I really like Mike Bray. I've known Mike for 100 years. But the truth of the matter is, I didn't really care. I didn't bet on the game because I'm trying to win money here, and I didn't know who was going to win. I got one lock for you, by the way. I don't know about a lock, but it's going to win. But anyway, Todd Frazier will join us. Jason Hammer, you guys have, every time he's on, it just explodes on our YouTube. Jason Hammer is conservative radio host on 93.1. We're going to get into a little bit of Ukraine, but he's also a host of Indiana Bets. And he might be the best sports handicapper other than me right now because I'm on fire. Absolute freaking fire. I mean, last night, Virginia hit. Wright State hit. Wake Forest hit. Basically, the man who is going to take over ESPN, a friend of mine, I'm not going to say his name, I text him when I got something I know is absolutely on fire. I got a text last night. Holy cow. That's all it was. Tonight's the same thing. The road to 5,000. We're almost halfway there. Don't worry. We're going to get there. I'm not messing around. All right. Baseball's dead, huh? Really? Baseball's got no life to it. Baseball's got no juice. Baseball's got no money. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Remember when Rob Dibble came on here? I think it was Dibs. No, Dibble wasn't on here. He was on my other show. He's like, Dan, baseball got more money than sense. Really? Well, if you listen to the 22-year-old idiots out there, baseball's too slow, too stupid, no good, really? Okay. All right. I'll listen. You guys know. As I tell my son, look, I've been 26. You haven't been 59. I don't hear from you. I don't like hearing from anybody. But I really don't like hearing from young guy that says, baseball's dead. Really? Check out box scores. And on the bottom of box scores, they give you the attendance. When baseball starts up, I'm not talking about when it's cold in March and you're playing in Chicago or April. I'm talking about when baseball heats up. Let's go to June, July. Look on a Tuesday night how many people go to a ballpark. You're going to be going, damn, I didn't know 35,000 went to Wrigley that night. Damn, I didn't know 40,000 went here. Damn, Dodger Stadium had 28,000 on a Tuesday night. Football, which we love and has the biggest ratings, when you look at football, they're having trouble selling tickets. I mean, the Colts went from a 10-year season ticket list to every time you pick up a phone, it's like, hey, you want to buy season tickets? So what does baseball do? Freddie Freeman gets $162 million yesterday to go to what everybody is saying is the greatest lineup ever. Now, I'm not trying to be a jackass here, but all you got to do is look at Jeff Passan, and Jeff Passan doesn't know his ass from third base. I mean, he may know what somebody told him, but that dude don't know nothing. So when he said, greatest lineup I've ever seen, okay. How about Chris Bryant? What did he get? 7 years, $182 million to swing on a arc or whatever the hell it is. He had a couple good years. He's a good player. He'll have numbers in Colorado, but they're not going to win with him. But they gave him $182 mil. Mark my words, they won't win with him. They just won't. Rizzo got a big deal, about $36 million over 2 years. Anthony Rizzo, who's older than me and just gets hit by balls. I always told people, Anthony Rizzo is a great guy to have on your team. He's a perfect guy in Yankee Stadium. That might be the best signing yet in baseball. Again, I know what happens. When I say something, idiots jump out. Oh, Dakich a fool. And then about 6 months later, those of you that are new to this show, about 6 months later, all of a sudden, where did I hear that? Oh, yeah, Dakich told me that. Oh, he's an idiot. He hates my team. Okay. All right. I'm always right about this stuff. I'm sorry. I'm always right. Last night in Dayton, Notre Dame took on Rutgers basketball. And I got to tell you, probably the greatest game to ever be in that first four. Now, I've also got to tell you that every time something comes up, it's always the greatest ever, So I don't know if it's the greatest ever because, frankly, I don't know the history of the first four, and I don't give a rat's about the history of the first four. I know I'm supposed to. And what does every announcer say now that doesn't know their backside from third base? It's March. That's all they got. Madness. Man, is the announcing bad. Wow. Speaking of that, how bad is that show with Rex Chapman and Candace Parker? I told you yesterday, based on the Indiana game, I'd have fired Candace Parker and Rex Chapman. I would have. You can't show up on a set and not know on national TV. You cannot show up on a set and not know players' names and not be prepared. I would have fired them. I know they're both protected. I understand that. I know they're in the protected group. They're not 59-year-old white guys. I get it. One guy's liberal and the other, well, no chance you can fire her. But I'm telling you, I would have fired both of them. And I'd have taken all the crap and listened to her tell me that I'm whatever ish she wanted to make me and let Rex Chapman go on his little Twitter site and say block charge. But I would have fired them both. I thought they were so bad, so unprepared. It's a horrible show. They should not be on television unless they want to work. Give me Charles Barkley and his crew doing everything. This is garbage that we have to watch. I'm sorry. But last night, let's talk about the game, Notre Dame and Paul Atkinson. Paul Atkinson had 26-6. Now, 26-6 around the rim, pretty damn good because, frankly, Atkinson's about a 12 to 14 point a game scorer. He's a kid that transferred from Yale. I heard him on the post-game interview, and you know what? I don't think on this show I'll go Tony Kornheiser. You can't interview players. You just can't interview players. It's just horrible radio, horrible TV. Contrast that with an adult, Mike Bray, yelling at John Rothstein, Happy St. Patrick's Day, baby. See, always get adults. Tony Kornheiser, when he had arguably the greatest radio show in the history of the world on ESPN Radio before Colin Cowherd, had a thing, I don't want players on my show. Every time on my radio show in Indy, they want me to get a player, I say no, because they're horrible. Paul Atkinson was horrible. on the radio interview. The same old, well, my teammates, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. But anyway, Paul Atkinson was good where he needed to be. He had 26 and 6. Clutch, clutch, clutch is what Ron Harper Jr. is. Guys were making shots left and right. It was a fascinating game to listen to. But the truth of the matter is, Notre Dame just, I don't know. What did they do? They out-tough them? I don't know. They outplay them? I don't know. It just seemed like 89 to 87, Notre Dame just won the game in the end. Terrible inbounds play late in the game. Sometimes, as I tell you, dumb loses more than smart wins. Write that down, coaches. I know you little coaches out there like sayings. Dumb loses more than smart wins. Write it down. Get it to your team. I'll give you a second. You got it? Good. Anyway, Paul Atkinson rebounded a shot. Blake Wesley missed a shot. Atkinson rebounded it. Game was over. And I got to tell you, whether it was on radio or TV, man, that was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. And then you had to listen to the halftime idiots. Peter Kiss, remember I told you he was going to take him over 24 and a half. He had 28. Wright State at home now. That was at home. It's hard to beat a team at home in the NCAA tournament. Yes, I know it's UD Arena. Yes, I know Wright State has their own really nice arena. But that was a home game in Dayton for Wright State. I liked the game. Bryant, all heart. Jared Grasso, all heart. Peter Kiss, all heart. Not the greatest game from Charles Pride, but you had 37 for Holden. Tanner Holden's a good player. Remember we told you about Tanner Holden yesterday? He's a good player. Calvin had 21. Basile, it was a frenetic game. It was up and down, fun to watch. I don't know what to tell you. It was just a good first-round NCAA basketball game featuring the leading scorer in the country in Kiss, who had 28, and featuring a team playing at home, great home crowd. Here's an interesting thing. I don't know if you saw this, but Indiana, that first night, it was the highest-rated show ever in the first four. And one of the reasons, and this is smart, there's no dummies here, they're smart. They put Indiana in there for a reason. I mean, look, let's be honest. The NCAA tournament's about selling Coca-Cola, Wendy's. Wendy's, how about Wendy's? They're all over the place. Coca-Cola, Wendy's, State Farm, the big ones. So you better have some ratings on that opening night. You just can't throw 8 dogs out there and hope they bark. So you throw Indiana in there, and next thing you know, you got the highest rated show in first four history. You throw Notre Dame and Rutgers, you got an East Coast audience, you got a national audience. Next thing you know, I guarantee you, when the ratings come out today, I guarantee you, their toes are going to be tapping because, let's be honest, you want ratings. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with that. Not a damn thing wrong. But oh, man, we don't have anybody watching. That's not good. But the truth of the matter is, you got to go. You just got to go. All right, tonight's games. This is going to be fun. I'm sad about this. Colorado State plays Michigan. Colorado State, I don't think they play anybody over 6'7", but here's what sucks about this. This really stinks. Colorado State is good, don't get me wrong, and I'm going to get to them, or even maybe not. But here's what I think stinks about this game. Michigan has played better. All right, you know, the whole thing with Juwan Howard overshadowed what's happening on their team. And one of the things that was happening on Michigan's team, be very careful betting this game. One of the things that's happening on Michigan's team is Devontae Jones was playing really well. He came over from Coastal Carolina as a big scorer. He came there because he loved Juwan Howard, thought he was going to get the ball late and all that stuff. Man, this is what sucks sometimes. Devontae Jones is out for this game. Now, that doesn't kill Michigan. I mean, look, Eli Brooks has been there since 1987. But you want a guy that's a fifth-year senior that came from Coastal Carolina. Now he's at Michigan. Man, you want him to play. You want him on the court. You want him going. Come on. But he's out. I still think Michigan wins the game. I was going to bet Michigan, but I'm not betting them no more. You lose your point guard, particularly one that's playing well. Sometimes you lose a point guard and you're kind of happy. Like, oh, man, now I don't have to play the guy. That's good. That ain't the case with this. I feel bad for this kid because he wasn't very good early. In fact, I thought he was really bad early. I thought he had a mid-major kind of mentality where I got to go do all this. And, he didn't realize that he had really good teammates. You know what I mean? It's just hard. But, man, I love when kids get better. I love when all of a sudden some kid comes in and next thing you know, by the end of the year, he's playing really well. And that's what this kid does. Man, I hated to see that. I hope he's back if they get to Saturday. But a concussion, let's be honest, who the hell knows? Colorado State, if you saw Wyoming, you know that the A12, or excuse me, what the hell is that league? The Mountain West is a pretty damn good league. Pretty good. I don't think Colorado State's little. Colorado State's biggest guy that plays like 6'7". They're going up against Hunter Dickinson. If I'm Michigan, here's what I'm going to do. Whap. This isn't a shot. This is a pass. Whap. Boop. But I'm throwing that ball inside 50 times to Hunter Dickinson today. And then if I need to throw it 51, I'm throwing it 51. If I need to throw it 50-10, I'm throwing it 50-10, which could also be known as 60. I don't care how many times is my point. Doesn't matter to me. I'm throwing the pelota inside, period. And figuring it all out. Figuring it all out. Anyway, that's that game. Ladies, write this down. Let's see who's on the chat here. Who's on the YouTube chat? I got a bunch of folks. I got Cashman, I got Duke Gwynn, I got Jeff Chambers, Jim, I got Outkick, I got Joe, I got Jody, I got MRC. Get ready, write this down. Bet this game. Providence -2 over South Dakota State. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Dan, there's got to be upsets. Like this bracket here has got to have upsets. Let's be honest. Everybody, a 4-13 every year. There's upsets, Dan. I don't know, Dan. And I'm going to tell you why this is a tough thing to bet. Because Providence plays games tight. They play them close. They do. It's not like Providence jumps out and they're up 20 and they win by 20. But this is the game I'm marking. This is the game I'm earmarking. Because if Providence wins the game, all right, if they win the game, they're going to win by more than 2. Now, let me go through South Dakota State with you. You ready? This is why this is why it's only 2. South Dakota State, I'm going to give you some numbers here. They've won 21 games in a row. They are 18-0 in their league. 18-0. Now, I don't give a damn what league it is, but 18-0 in their league? Are you insane? I think there should be an NCAA provision. If you go undefeated in your league, you are in the NCAA tournament. I don't want to hear about having to win the conference tournament. I'm sorry, I don't. I know everybody, that's not. No, if you go 18-0, you deserve to be in the NCAA tournament. If you go whatever your league is, I don't care. That's problematic. Why? Because this team is used to winning. Let me give you some numbers here on how they've won because it's important. They won their conference championship by 6 over the 2 seed North Dakota State. They beat the 5 seed by 23. They beat Omaha by 8. They beat UMKC by 11. Here's my thing. They're not killing people. In their league, which is a nice league, good league, Summit League, good league, they're not blowing people out. Which means 2 things. Which means, number 1, they're a connected team. They know how to win at the end. But you know what? That's the strength of Providence. Second thing is, they're not uber talented. If you're uber talented, you beat the living hell out of Omaha. Hell, Omaha fired their coach. You beat the living hell out of South Dakota State or North Dakota State. You don't play these games down the stretch. I don't know a single player on South Dakota. I didn't know a single player basically yesterday. K.A. Clark, Virginia. I don't bet it that way. I bet it and I predict it based on circumstance. And I'll take Providence today. I'll take Providence tomorrow. And I'll take Providence the next day. Now, if the line goes to 6, 8, maybe not. But I'll take Providence. Let me go through Providence with you. Providence got their ass beat by Creighton last time out. And I mean whopped. It was over early. 85-58. Problem for Providence. They had just beaten Butler by 4. They're not playing well. They had just lost to Villanova. And I would look at this and I would say, you know what? Last game of the year before the Big East tournament, they lost a tight one by 2. Did that put them on a spiral? Like, Butler was horrible all year. Butler was winning the game. I think they were up 10 or 12 at halftime. Providence came back, and then they got blown out. Just telling you. I don't know. But I do know this. They've had a week, and they got a great coach and a team that's used to winning. I'll take Providence -2 today, tomorrow, the next day, and it's just like the Indiana game. If we lose, tough. It's the right bet. Memphis, Boise. Oof. Memphis, Boise. I'm going to get into all these games. Memphis, most talented team. They guard. Penny Hardaway doesn't just throw the basketballs out there. Lester Quinones. I don't know. I don't think I would bet Lester Quinones over under. I don't care about that. Lester Quinones guards hard. Lester Quinones, I'm 6'5", about 250. I swear to God, when I stood next to him, he's bigger than me. But he's not fat. I'm fat. Lester Quinones can ball. I'm going to take Memphis, but this is going to be a mother. Remember now, we're talking about a team in Boise who won. I think they won. No, I know they won. They won the Mountain West. Talent wins, though. It's an 8-9 game. It's a perfect 8-9 game. I'm going to take Memphis, but I'm not betting the game. The only game that I've given you so far that I'm betting Providence. Providence is going to win by 3. And if they don't, I don't care. It's still the right bet. That's it. I got way, way, way more. I got a lot of more. As Clubber Lang said in Rocky Whatever. I got a lot of more. But first, when we come back, you don't want to miss the toughest man in Jersey. I'm going to just find out, was the toughest man in Jersey, Todd Frazier, the Todd father, the home run king, the greatest youth player of all sports, 2-time All-Star. Everywhere he goes, everyone loves him except fat-ass radio hosts in Pittsburgh. Everywhere he goes. Universally loved. Did he cry last night? And if he cried, why did he cry? Did Todd Frazier get broken down into tears when we come back? Do not leave anywhere. Do yourself a favor. Go tell your friends Dakich is rolling today. And let's see what the hell's going on around here. We got Allison Williams coming up. I got my boy Hammer. Look, Hammer is officially 8-1 on this show. He might be more than that. I'm not sure. But I think he's 8-1 on this show. He might be 8-0. You do not want to miss this show. You want to go tell your buddies about this show. We need to make this show the biggest and best show in the country. We are going to be right back. The Todd father getting the sad out. He's the biggest Rutgers guy there is. Hall of Famer at Rutgers. We're going to give him 10 minutes to get the sad out. There we go. Waiting on Todd Frazier. Look, I'm sorry, but you got to do better. We all got to do better. I just give Barkley the entire NCAA. Just give him the whole thing. I don't care who's mad at me. I don't care who's not mad at me. All right, let's talk about a couple things. We're waiting on Todd, the Todd father, but a couple of things with NCAA basketball. I mentioned this, and this is kind of tough. A couple of things are happening today. One is Devontae Jones being out for Michigan. I can't stand that. I don't even know what to tell you. But the truth of the matter is teams have to play through some things. The dumbest thing so far in basketball, so far, stupid, absolutely stupid, is the fact that a team like Indiana or Wright State has to play at night, get in a plane, and go across the country. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I do get it. I mean, that's just stupid. I get it because it's money. I get it because what you want to do is make money on the first four. That's what we do, and away we go. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what you do. All right. Here's also, did you know L.J. Cryer is going to miss the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament? Let me make sure I have this right. He's not played since mid-February. He's averaging 13 and a half. And frankly, he's the leading scorer on the team for Baylor. They play Norfolk State. They'll beat Norfolk State today. And this kid not playing since February, okay, you're used to not having him. But the truth of the matter is they'll win, but you want to get this kid back, certainly in the Sweet 16. My boy, Todd Frazier, you okay? Are you okay?
No, man. Listen, I was up last night trying to, because it's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day, because it all worked out
Same
well
to you.
for Notre Dame, man. That's it. And I'm trying to fix this leprechaun trap for my kids in the morning so they're surprised. And I'm dropping F-bombs left and right at the TV. It was unbelievable.
Well, I text you. I was driving. I didn't really want to text. We needed a little New Jersey toughness. I mean, what happened here? Why did Notre Dame? Why did they forget about Paul Atkinson?
I don't know what happened there, man. I don't. There was a lot of silly mistakes at the end there. A lot of silly mistakes. That's what happens when you play 2 overtimes, though, man. If you get tired, the legs get tired. There's no excuses. We made a lot of mistakes, and we let them, drive on us. I mean, they've had what they have. We got to have over 40 points in the paint. I mean, it was. Man, it coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I mean? So I deserve it all, man. Give it to me. I don't mind. It happened.
No, I'm not. No. Hey, look, I said this earlier. Had they gotten blown out or, I'd have given you some hell. I mean, we knew it was Indiana, the state of Indiana toughness overcame Jersey. I mean, we all know that. I mean, Jersey a little front running.
Listen.
We know. Hoosiers,
Hey.
Hoosiers more solid, just salt to the earth people. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen. Sometimes the blind squirrel finds a nut. You know how the old saying goes. But yeah, you got to. Hey, it was a heck of a game. Too bad because both teams deserved to move on last night. But oh man, he hit the 3. I mean, it worked out perfect. Gio Baker got the ball at the end of the game. We found a way to get it, and I thought he was going to hit that jumper, but he didn't. There was a lot of plays where you look back like, man, I wish that would have happened, but what are you going to do?
Hey, as a player, let me ask you this, because this is kind of the eternal question. As a player, would you rather lose that way last night, or would you rather lose to where you're not thinking about every little frickin' play that could have changed the outcome of the game? Lose by 10, and you're down 10 the whole time, as opposed to lose last night where that game as a coach will stay with you forever. I'm telling you, forever that game will stay. How would you rather lose, I guess?
I'd rather be in the game, honestly, and then you could look back. You're like I said, you're going to nitpick every little play, but, you lose by 10 as a coach, it's like, man, I prepared, I didn't prepare well at all for these guys to win. So I think I'd rather say, you know what, we fought, we battled our Heine's off, and we gave it our best shot. I think I'd rather lose like that. And that's a good kickstart for the tournament today, man. I'm pretty excited to watch the other games, but I think it's going to be Notre Dame's going to be a little tired coming up.
I do too. What game you looking at today? You like my Hoosiers tonight against St. Mary's? Can you get on the bandwagon?
I think I'm jumping on it. I think I have to. I think I have to jump on the Hoosiers. I think I stick to my Northeast guys. I like Connecticut to beat New Mexico State. I'm a big Seton Hall. Are they playing tonight, Seton Hall? I don't think they are. They played them.
No, they're not tonight. Nope,
but,
tomorrow. Yeah,
watch out for that Vermont-Arkansas game tonight too, man. Vermont, man, they killed Syracuse, about 6 or 7 years ago in the tournament when Jerry Mack was playing, brother. So I don't like Vermont. But they find ways to win games. So
is Jerry Mack a New Jersey guy?
No, I think he's up north New York, upstate New York guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you ever date Smoky?
No, I've never even met Smoky. If you want the truth, I know a couple of them on there, but Smoky's not one I've met yet, so I can't say I have.
Who do you know on that show? I can't remember the name of the show, but when I think of you, I think of those guys because you all talk alike. The Edge? Was there some guy, The Edge or something?
No, The Situation, and Jay Wow. Jenny,
The Situation.
A girl named Jenny. We're very friendly with. She's a very nice lady.
All right. So New Mexico State's coach was at Bowling Green after me as a head coach. He had a little situation himself, got fired, and he's a terrific coach. We got Vermont. Vermont just rolled through their conference tournament. I mean, They won by 39, 32, 25, and 39. That's a dangerous game, even though how tough can you be being from Vermont?
You got to be thick. You got to have some thick skin, man. It's cold up there, so these boys are coming down. I mean, they're coming down. Where are they playing? They're playing in San Diego or in the West Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in –
Yeah.
Or no, they're playing in Buffalo, actually. No, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They are.
Oh, so
yes, they're playing in Buffalo. My bad, yes.
Poor Arkansas, man. Hey, listen, I tell you what, bro, I'm a big believer in where you play, dude. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I think it's not a huge factor. It's a little factor, but at the same time, Vermont might be carrying some weight there, and people love the underdog. So Arkansas better bring it here. It's only 5.5. I mean, come on, dude. Holy cow. Crazy. I
know. That surprised me because I think if Arkansas wins the game, it's the same thing with Providence. I think if Providence wins the game, they'll win more than 2. You know what I mean? And I think if Arkansas win, now both teams can lose. Providence can lose, to South Dakota State, and Vermont could lose. Obviously, Arkansas could lose to Vermont. But I think if those teams win, they'll win by more than 5.5. I don't know. Don't touch the Michigan game. Don't touch the Michigan game. Their point guard is out. I was going to bet Michigan. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Who's out? Michigan's point guard's out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He got hit in the head. He's got a concussion.
This is getting intense, bro. This is my most favorite time besides Christmas. And this is the best time of the year, man. And I'm home today, too. I can't wait. I can't wait.
What will you be doing today? Game started at 12:15. What will you be doing?
Well, I just had a nice breakfast, nice green bagel with cream cheese. You know how it goes. It's St. Patty's Day. I had to get up early to get them. Bro, if you don't get up early, like 6 a.m. to get these bagels, they're toast. So you know how it is in Jersey. We love our dough. So I got the bagels. I just dropped my kids off at school, and now we're actually going to watch a little Leprechaun movie here, and then we're going to get after it. And but my we got baseball practice from 4 to 5:30, and then we got a basketball game at 7. So I'm going to be missing a lot of the night games. So I'll catch the West Coast games at night afterwards.
What's the food of choice today, this afternoon? What are we having for lunch while games are going?
Ooh, I got there's a company out here in the East Coast called Eat Clean Bro, and it's one of my buddies, Jamie Giovinazzo, and he makes these, nice lean chicken, asparagus, diced up potatoes, and yellow rice. So I'll dominate that, trying to stay healthy here. On the weekends I get after it, but yeah, I'll have that, and then my neighbor's cooking corned beef cabbage and all that good stuff for the neighborhood tonight. So when I come back late night, I'll have a little corned beef and cabbage.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I know you're a highly tuned legendary professional athlete in this country, but you're also retired. So when I just heard lean chicken on the frickin' St. Patty's Day / opening day of the NCAA tournament, lean chicken with asparagus,
Listen,
I'm like, I just puked in my own mouth.
Hey,
I puked in my own mouth right there.
Asparagus is green, so we got that going on, all right? So we're fine.
Asparagus makes my pee smell. Is the only thing I know about asparagus. That's all I got.
Why does it do that? It's disgusting.
I don't know. All right, sorry about your freaking Rutgers. Sorry about the Scarlet Knights. But I think the future's bright with Steve Pikiell, man. I think people saw a hell of a basketball game and a hell of a team and a hell of a program moving forward. I do.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Just got to get some more recruits, man. And let me ask you this before I go. Notre Dame, I'm looking here, 3.5-point dogs. I mean, that's not a lot of points either. I mean, for tomorrow, that's crazy, man. All right, well, what do you think there?
I'm taking Notre Dame in that game. I'll tell you, I don't care. Tired, not tired, flying, not flying. I don't care.
Adrenaline.
I don't like Alabama. Yeah, hey, Todd, you know this. When you're playing and you're winning, you just want to play, man. Where's the next game? All right, I'll take a nap. When the hell's the next game?
Yeah,
let's go.
Exactly.
You know.
All right.
I'll take that. Providence -2 today.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Love to hear.
All right.
Love it. Let's go.
All right, brother.
Talk to you later.
See you. That's the Todd father, the great Todd Frazier. Providence -2 is going to be our number one play. Now, I'm a little bit nervous, about what South Dakota State's pedigree is. Again, they have not lost a game. But having said that, no. He mentioned New Mexico State and UConn. Here's the thing with UConn. I got to tell you, man, Danny Hurley is a really tough coach. Like, he is really tough on you. And he is year-round. He's like his dad, man. His dad, when he coached at St. Anthony's in Jersey City, it was year-round. If you're going to play for me, you're going to do things right. You're going to do them right all the time, and we're going to do this year-round. Danny's the same way. But you know what happens with Danny Hurley's UConn team? Kids don't transfer. They don't transfer. It's an interesting deal. In a world where everyone transfers, in a world where people are upset with you because you yelled at me or whatever, they don't transfer. I think New Mexico State's got a nice team. New Mexico State will play it any way you want. Chris Jan's a really good coach. You want to guard, they'll guard. You want to get up and down, they can get up and down. But there's a uniqueness to what Danny Hurley does, and I'm telling you, he's going to make a run with this UConn team, and it may not be this year. But he keeps kids. You know how they say in the NFL, you've got to sign your own? That's exactly what Danny Hurley does. Now, they don't have an awful draw. They have a great draw. They got New Mexico State. It's a 5-12 game. And then they've got the winner of Arkansas-Vermont. I don't know that they're going to make a run this year. I don't. But I think they'll win this game. I think they'll cover this game. Indiana, tonight. Look, it's a game a lot of us are going to watch. I know I'm jumping around here. I apologize to you, Dylan, but I'm going to go to the groups after we talk to Todd. So it's going to be Indiana and St. Mary's. All right, Indiana, the NCAA, I'm being told, screwed Indiana. Apparently the NCAA is in charge with setting up the charters that go from the first four to the site. The site for Indiana is Portland. Now, I don't know how much you know about this, but Dayton, Ohio is in the Eastern time zone. Portland, Oregon is in the Western time zone. There's a 3-hour time difference. So if it's 9 o'clock in the morning here, it's 6 o'clock in the morning there. Well, for whatever the reason, the NCAA did not know the travel size of Indiana. Now, Indiana has arguably the most experienced guy, a man named Tim Garl, handling their travel. So I guarantee you Timmy G didn't screw it up. They sent Indiana too small of a plane. Long story short, Indiana's on a tarmac. Indiana's waiting. They get a plane. They got to get out there. They don't get there till like 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday. Fine. All right. But you got to play the game. That doesn't help, but it's not fatal. Don't think for a second that's fatal. This is what could be fatal. St. Mary's. They have 6 upperclassmen, 4 are seniors. It's a very old veteran team. They play a pack line defense, which means basically we're not coming out past 22 feet. We're going to get off. We're going to get in the gaps. And frankly, you're either going to have a dominant big guy or you're going to have to make jump shots. Indiana doesn't shoot the basketball well, but they have a dominant big guy, and he is dominant in Trayce Jackson-Davis. Now, Randy Bennett can really sling it. He can really coach it. He's not going to be running up and down the sidelines like a crazy person. He's going to understand how to double Trayce Jackson-Davis, something that many, many teams, including Wyoming, did not do. Let's talk just for a second about St. Mary's. You know, St. Mary's beat Gonzaga. St. Mary's played Gonzaga close. Here's what I like about St. Mary's. There's a kid named Tommy Kuhse. Tommy Kuhse, it's not Bob Cousy's son. It's not Bob Cousy's grandson. It's spelled like Kushe. Here's what I like about him. He's a walk-on that was just given a scholarship. And Kuhse is one of those guys that does everything. You want a bucket? He's shooting 46% from 3. You want to assist it? He's 4 assists, basically 1 turnover. What do you need? Whatever you need, that's what he will do. They play middle ball screen with him. Their leading scorer only averages about 12.5, Alex Dudas. I think it's Dudas, something like that. He's also their best three-point shooter. Now, no, I'm sorry, Matthias Tass is their leading scorer. He's at 12.5. This is one of those teams, though, that isn't overly athletic. This is one of those teams that can't come out and swarm you. They play a pack line. I think Indiana wins the game, and I think Indiana covers the game. But it's not a cover because Indiana's getting 3. I'm going to take it because I want to bask in the glow of an Indiana win and make money doing it. But Indiana needs a really good game late. Indiana, I'm wearing my shirt, Indiana make you nuts with the late game turnovers, the late game fouling. They'll make you nuts. They can clean that up. And you know what? If we're winning games late and we mess it up, it's not a bad problem to have. Just clean it up. All right? Creighton and San Diego State. Brian Dutcher is the head coach at San Diego State. Again, here's another Mountain West team. They play great defense. They've always played great defense. They missed a shot to win the Mountain West championship. Now, here's the deal with this. Brian Dutcher's teams will keep the ball in front of them. Creighton likes to get out. Creighton likes to get past you. It's really an interesting game. I want to keep you in front of me. I'm not letting you get past me against a team that wants to get past you. If Creighton could score 110, that's what they would like to do. They would like to score 110. McDermott, the coach, fancies himself as an offensive coach. McDermott, the coach, fancies himself as one of the best offensive coaches in the country. And he's probably not wrong. He's done a really good job at Creighton. But I got to tell you, San Diego State, and obviously this doesn't, San Diego, right? Laid back, blah, blah. No, they're going to play you. They're going to ball you hard. They're going to play you as hard as any team defensively in this tournament. They are. Mark my words. If you watch this game tonight, you're going to say, you know what? I don't know necessarily how they do it, but San Diego State's no joke, man. They are a tough-ass defensive team. And teams miss shots. And all of a sudden, teams start missing shots, and you're going, why are they missing shots? They seem open. They are. But they're uncomfortable. There's a big difference. I'm not betting that game. That's a dumb game to bet. Don't bet that game. Vermont and Arkansas. Whew. Man, I can't wait for this game. Whenever I see a team beat other teams in their league at the end of the year by 40 points, 39, 32, and 27 or whatever it was, I say that's a hot team. And this year I have decided that I am going in my bracket with the hot team. But Arkansas is no ordinary Joe, ladies and gentlemen. Arkansas plays hard. Arkansas plays fast. Arkansas is well put together. Arkansas is a sleeper Final Four team. Now, I think personally this is going to be an epic game. I think Arkansas is going to win the game. I think Arkansas winning the game, they probably cover. I think at one point you're going to be able to live bet Arkansas because Arkansas will probably be down. I do. But this is a together group the Must Bus has. I'm telling you, this is one of those groups where you go, damn, how did he piece this together? But you know what? Vermont's no joke. Vermont's going to shoot it. Vermont's going to spread it. Vermont's going to make sure that they take care of the basketball. Here's one of the things that's very underrated. You want to know why Izzo's teams win in March? And I don't think they can this year because of this one thing. You can't turn it over. It's Purdue's biggest bugaboo. Like, if Purdue didn't turn the ball over like it was their job, Purdue would be a favorite to win the Final Four. But I feel like you're like 10 seconds away from Purdue going on a 3-turnover jag, and next thing you know, you're like, damn, Purdue, the hell'd you do? But I'm just telling you, right now, Arkansas is a team to be reckoned with. But Vermont's damn good. Vermont has a guy, and I love these stories. Ben, I'm going to say his name wrong, Shungu. He is a former walk-on at Vermont. All he's done is become a first-team all-league player, lead his team to the NCAA tournament. See, I love those stories. Like, I don't kind of like those stories. And when you read about the Vermont team, they're just the most humble dudes ever. And the other part of Vermont, there's a kid from Columbus, Ohio, Indiana. And I can't remember his name right now, but it just hit me. John Decker's a coach at Vermont. This kid was a good player from Columbus, Indiana. He went to Vermont. He got in a car wreck. He could never play again. We raised a ton of money for him, and John Decker was involved in that. John then raised a ton of money for him through Vermont, and they've honored this kid constantly. They've made him such a part of the program. I got so much respect for John Decker. I got so much respect for Vermont's basketball program because of John Decker and what they did with this kid. That, man, frankly, I want them in the worst way to win, but I'm just not sure they can. I just think there's too much athletic ability and togetherness on the other side. Arkansas is a damn good basketball team. Don't at me, people. I mean, a damn good basketball team. Let me see if I got one more in me before we get going. But let me go back to something real quick. You know, people always say to me, well, Dan, what does connected mean? It's a great question. Here's what connected means. You saw it a little bit last night. When you got to get a stop, you don't make a mistake. You don't always get the stop to win the game, but you don't make the mistake of over-helping or a stupid foul. You don't. You just don't. You don't make a mistake like that. That's connected. When the pass needs to be made, what does Villanova do? Good, better, best. Good shot, nope. Better shot, nope. Best shot over there, yep. That's what we're going to do. That's connected. People talk about it, but they never explain it. They don't ever explain, like in football. If you ever watch a football game, every announcer uses the term leverage. Oh, man, you got to leverage the edge. Did they ever explain it? No. Connected means we're not going to beat ourselves by something stupid. Doesn't mean we're going to win every game. Doesn't mean every shot's going to go in, every free throw's going to go in. But I'll tell you what you're not going to do. You're not going to make a dumbass play. That's connected. All right. Can't wait to talk to Allison Williams. Allison Williams, the world owes Allison Williams an apology. As we move through this world, vaccines, masks, all that kind of happy horse bleep, great. The world owes Allison Williams an apology. She is going to come on our show in a minute. Then Jason Hammer, my boy from Indianapolis, all he does is pick winners. We're going to go at it in the brackets back and forth. But we're also going to talk a little politics because, frankly, you need to hear my politics. I actually don't have politics. I have common sense. But we're going to talk to Hammer Time about that. We got a monster hour coming up. Don't forget, NCAA.com. March Madness Bracket. NCAA, not ESPN.com, NCAA.com. March Madness Bracket. Search group Outkick. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm rolling. My bracket will be released as soon as I can find it. It will be released on Twitter. I'm having a hard time locating it. I folded it up in my pants, and I cannot find it. And I do not want to do it again because that bracket that I had is gold, Jerry, gold. And I don't think I put the same bracket in our bracket challenge, and I don't think I put the same bracket in my bracket challenge for my 1070 show. I don't think I did. Damn it. I don't think it's hard being stupid. You people think it's easy being stupid? You think it's easy looking like this? You think it's easy having this brain? It is not. That's why I like to talk to smart people. That's why I love talking to my friend, Allison Williams, when we come back. I'm going to say this every time she's nice enough to come on our show. America owes Allison Williams an apology. It does. I want to hear it.
I'm not waiting for it.
America owes you an apology.
I'll take it, but I'm not waiting for it.
You think it's coming?
No.
You're not?
No.
That's crap. You went to the rodeo. You're in Texas. Rodeo, how many people are, how many, like, big stadium,
Heck
I assume, packed?
Yeah. So it's at NRG where the Texans play. This is the Houston Rodeo. So it's big. It goes for like 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, it's every day, and they bring in big performers. They have Chris Stapleton, Sam Hunt, Gwen Stefani was performing the night we went. So there's like rodeo, livestock show, fair. The whole convention center is full of cows and sheep and chickens and madness. And then you have the actual rodeo, which goes on inside NRG Stadium. So the entire, where the field would be is dirt and set up for the rodeo. That goes on for like 3 hours. And then you have the concert at the end, and it's awesome. I mean, it's completely insane. Like you have to be completely out of your mind to go that path if you're going to ride bucking Broncos or bulls, or even like the team roping is pretty fun to watch, and the roping and all that. So, but it is a different level of crazy for the athletes. and the competitors, but they're freaking like rock stars out there. It was fun. It's fun. It's so different, right? Like it's just a completely different deal than any other sporting event you're going to go to.
They are. You mentioned rock stars. You're talking about the guys or the gals, the athletes or whatever. What do you call a rodeo person? Are they athletes?
They're athletes.
What are they?
You watch them, they're athletes.
Seems
to me,
yeah.
They're almost like hockey players, where if you boil down what they do to compete in their sport, the average person can't do it, right? Like the average person cannot ice skate.
Yeah, right.
The average person cannot ride a horse at a fast speed. So like when you look at what they're doing at their most simple level, it reminds me of like the thing about the Olympics. Like let's have normal people do them so they can realize how hard this is. Like just to have a normal person ride a horse, and you would be like laughing your ass off if they're trying to rope a cattle while they're doing it, or getting bucked off because its butt is cinched or whatever. So yes, 100% they're athletes. They train, they put themselves in immense physical danger. There's a technique to it. There's a talent to it. And then just, like I said, complete and total insanity, because it's not if, it's when you're going to get hurt.
Right.
And
right. And you were rooting for the animals.
So yeah, like I'm an animal person, and so I always kind of feel bad for them. But I don't want anybody to get hurt. So then you don't want to root too hard for the animal, right? Because then that could result in the person getting hurt. So I root for everybody to be okay, animals and people included. But then the more you watch it, like the more you have an appreciation for what these guys are able to do, because it's one thing to step into a ring and go toe to toe with another man. It's another thing to step into a ring and go toe to toe with an animal whose sole purpose is to get away from you, to hurt you, to rid you of your existence. So I have a ton of respect for these guys, and especially we were like fifth row, so you're super close. And these are the best of the best. They have like all their money earnings and up there and so forth. So it's pretty crazy to watch them do what they do. But then I was fascinated by the roping, because I've tried to twirl a lasso. Have you ever tried to twirl a lasso?
I have. It's
stupid hard, right?
Yeah, no chance. I mean,
yeah. And so they blast out of the chute, going 100 miles an hour on these two horses. One of them's got to get the head with the fake horns, and the other one's got to get the hooves, and they got to tie, or the single, where they got to rope jump off their horse, flip the calf over, and tie up its hooves. So I was fascinated by that. And then I do kind of cheer when the calf gets away. My son did too. He's definitely my kid. He'd start clapping, it got away,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It definitely, it's a reminder too of how ingrained sports are with culture. Like it's a different way of life. It's a part of, that culture. And it's a kind of a reminder of how strong that tie can be between, I think, sports and culture within America.
So speaking of sports and culture, today's like Christmas, right? I mean, what are your thoughts? NCAA tournament. You got any thoughts in general on the entire thing?
Okay, so I have a whole new appreciation and level of like empathy for the common fan. Because I feel like this year, more than any year, I'm coming at this from just a normal fan perspective, because I haven't been around these teams.
Right.
I haven't been with these players. I haven't seen them in person. And I am so lost with my bracket. Like, I cannot pull the trigger. I haven't hit submit on any of them because I'm second guessing everything, because I feel like I know nothing. I feel like I'm completely uneducated. And so I want you to all know out there, like, I feel you, and I am, in your camp of like completely, like, I have no idea, especially, obviously like the 5-12 is always tough, but I feel like it's really tough this year. I don't know. And I hate picking the 8. I'm just like, I can't even decide on my final 4. I'm kind of a mess, but I think that's what's going to make this tournament great too. Like, just look at what we just saw with the conference tournaments. They were insane. So I feel like this year is going to be totally wacky, and I need to pick a ton of upsets, but then I go to pull the trigger and I can't. So, it's a great day. It's a great day.
Are you usually, like, when you were working and you were, around basketball year, were you any good at the bracket?
No, but I was confident going in.
No. Right.
I mean, I would argue with you that, like, of course they're going to, advance and blah, blah, blah. So, no, I was never right. But I was at least confident in my uneducated selections and so forth. Now I'm like completely unconfident, and I don't know. Like, I could see this going so many different ways. I mean, even just like the 2 seed line. Like, I don't know how I feel about Duke. You know what I mean? Like, they're so inconsistent and they're young. And I don't know if they have what it takes to play on the stage after what I saw against North Carolina at the end of the season and then Virginia Tech in the ACC championship game. I don't know who Kansas is. I mean, like, I'm just super confused by even the top seeds. I don't think Baylor's going to get very far. I mean, I don't know. They don't have their leading guy for the first weekend.
Here's what I've said. I've just said there's no dominant group of teams. There's no, like, if somebody told me, hey, look, UCLA is going to get to the Final Four, I'd say, yeah, I could see that. If someone were going to say, hey, look, I can really see Murray State beating Kentucky. When I last saw Kentucky, I thought Kentucky stunk against Tennessee.
Other days they're really
it's one of those deals. Right. Yeah. So, they beat Kansas by 1 million in Kansas. Nobody beats Kansas by 1 million in Kansas, right? I think you're absolutely right. I want to go to something else, though, because you're the perfect person to ask this. Did you see this nonsense that's going on with Kyrie Irving where, he can't play, but he can go to the game, sit in the front row, and then they find the Nets $50,000 because he went back in the locker room. Can't play in his own building, but he can go sit in the front row of his own building while his team plays. Allison, this is insanity to me.
Science, Dakich.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I just, like, you almost have to laugh, otherwise you're going to go crazy because it doesn't make any sense. So to me, and Kevin Durant spoke to this, and I think he had to pedal back his comments a little bit, but he was absolutely right when he said this is a total power play. This is a complete and total, I'm not backing down. I'm Eric Adams. I'm the mayor of New York, and what I say goes, and I don't have to explain myself. So yes, you are unvaccinated and you can come in and you can play in the game. You can attend the game. You can watch the game. You can do all sorts of things. But if you play for the Brooklyn Nets, you cannot play in the game unless you're vaccinated. It just doesn't make any sense at this point. Everybody knows it doesn't make sense. I thought maybe there would be a shift when Adam Silver came out and even kind of called it out. The fact that he hasn't backed down at all, the mayor, I just think tells you everything you need to know. And that this is very much him trying to show that Kyrie will not win. And it's going to be interesting because the public favor has always been kind of against Kyrie, right? Like, it's been like, just do it. You're selfish. You're a bad teammate. Right. Why would you not? It's irresponsible. It's reckless. And he's held his ground. And now everybody's like, okay, we're past this. We know more. We see what this does and what it doesn't do, yada, yada. Let him play. And then when he goes off for a career high 60 on the road, it just adds to it. And the fans are going to start to get pissed the closer we get to the playoffs. And the more these games mean and matter, the more there's going to be a public outcry for the rules to change. I don't know if they will, because again, there's no like logical scientific explanation for this. This is a power play. And if they change it, then Kyrie wins. So it's going to be fascinating to see how it unfolds, especially as the public sentiment changes and like fans are going to be pissed. I mean, if they get to the playoffs and he can't play at home, and then their road and home records are like disparagingly different, which you would expect they would be. He's one of the best players in the league. That's going to be real interesting because it could cost him a championship. And like I read these people who say like it's on Kyrie. Well, it's really simple. It's not Adam's fault. It's Kyrie's fault for not getting it. That's his decision. He's making a decision to not get it. He has free will that he's supposedly exercising. And so just go and get the shot for your team so you can play. And it's like they completely missed the point. And I was thinking about it too. I'm like, okay, so ask Brandon Goodwin how that went, because according to him, he got vaccinated and had to miss the playoffs for Atlanta. So what if Kyrie did have an adverse reaction? It happens. I mean, what if he did? What if he like actually said, okay, you know what? I'm going to get this thing. I want to win a championship. It's obviously what I have to do. They're not relenting. What if he went and got it and then had to miss games home and away because he got a vaccine injury? It's rare, but it could happen. It's not like it's not within the realm of possibility. And then where are we at? Like, then who do you blame? So I think people need to get past this notion of there isn't risk associated with it. It's rare, but it happens. And it should be his choice, and it should be a true free will and not being coerced. And I don't know. It's crazy to me that they're still like playing this game with him, but I think it's 100% a power play at this point.
Do you think because we're talking in sports, like I always say this, I want to hear both sides, all right? Because we're talking about it in sports, and it's more popular when it's a sports figure, is there any kind of reason that you can think from the mayor of New York to continue this particular deal? Is there any other side to this? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's been like health and safety has been the whole thing. And if you're exposing people or fans, I guess, but it does, as soon as you let people from opposing teams play, it doesn't make sense because they're occupying the same space.
Right.
So I don't know how you justify it. I really don't. Other than to say this is the rules and this is what we put in place to keep our city safe and this is what's working, so we're going to stick with it. I mean, I don't know if you, but the difference with visiting and home team, that doesn't make any sense.
None.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like you try to think like, okay, what's their rationale? You know, I mean, when you disagree with something, you say them, right? So you tell me, I don't know. I don't have anything that is, I'm trying to find it, but I don't, what happened to Fauci? Where is Fauci in all this? Where did he go?
Came back and
where did that guy go?
Fauci, and so he's been sent away to his room to think about what he's done for the past 2 years. It's
God
crazy.
Dang.
It's just so bizarre how everything completely just shifted on a dime real quick with our national attention and what we're paying attention to. And like in midst of all of it, Pfizer releases their, safety data that the FDA used to approve it. And there's like 9 pages of adverse reactions, 9 pages. And it's not just like sore arm fever. It's 9 pages of serious shit and nobody's reporting it. Nobody in mainstream talks about it. It's like it didn't even come out. I mean, there's a reason they wanted it quiet for 75 years. And then it comes out and nobody reports on it. And it's, list after list of some, I don't know, a lot of stuff I've never even heard of. That doesn't sound a whole lot of fun. So you've got 9 pages of adverse reactions and they approve it and nobody covers it. And Fauci's nowhere to be found. And it's bizarre. It's bizarre times continuing to be.
Yeah, and ironically enough, midterms are coming up fairly quickly, and so I don't know. My cynical brain says that there's a shift because of that, but I maybe am wrong. Do you, Allison Williams, who has, you have been at the forefront of this, is COVID a day-to-day issue with you still? Not you necessarily, but your world, whether you go... you're in Texas, a free state, right? I mean, is it an issue day to day anymore?
No, but it depends where you live a little bit. Like, I think it's so interesting. California has been obviously the way they've been. And so they just dropped masks indoor and then dropped them for schools. My kid's school, it's so silly. He goes to completely outside, like 2-day-a-week preschool, and they want us to wear masks at drop off and pick up. There's 6 people. The kids don't wear masks. They're outside the whole time. The teachers do for some reason. But until April 4th, like they drop off and pick up, we need to wear masks outdoors around 6 other people. It's very bizarre. Anyway, but they're like, keep reminding us April 4th, you have to wear it till. But no, in Texas, there are no signs of it. Like some people wear masks here and there, like much less than in California. But no, on a day-to-day basis. And it's weird too, because around Christmas time, everybody had it, right? Everybody you knew had it, just got over it, was testing for it, thought they had it. And now I feel like I don't know anybody that's had it here lately. Do you? I mean, I know it's just 2 of us, but like I feel like it's completely, I don't know, shifted here lately. Like it just seems like it's become much more of a non-issue until, I don't know, they decide it becomes an issue again. And when they do.
Is it even, because I haven't paid attention to this, Allison, and it just hit me as we're talking. I haven't heard with the NCAA tournament really starting on Tuesday. They brought teams into Dayton and teams are flying and all that kind of stuff. I haven't heard one thing about COVID protocol in the NCAA tournament, and I'm curious your thought on that. And I'm watching a TikTok video that Indiana's players made on an airplane. Now I know it's a, I know it's a charter jet. Nobody's got a mask on.
No.
At what point do airlines who have filtered this air and they say it's safer than any air you're going to breathe, at what point does that charade kind of go away?
Right. That's a good. I was hoping here on March 18th that would, tomorrow. And then they extended it for another month for who knows what reason. But then I saw that the Senate passed to end it. So I don't know, but there was the article I was reading, there weren't next steps. So I'm not sure where that leaves us. They voted, and actually some Democrats voted to end the federal travel mask mandate. And I know the airlines are in support of it. You saw representatives from Southwest and Delta all speaking out against it. I know it's become just a huge pain, and it's just such a difficult, I think, thing for the stewardesses, the flight attendants to navigate and enforce. It's a pain in the ass, obviously, for customers and for them. So you would think it would end soon. I don't understand. If you remember the beginning of this, it was safe to fly in an airplane with a mask, but it wasn't safe to go to church with a mask, right? Because of air filtration or whatever. I mean, we all know they're not going to shut down the airline industry. But if you follow that logic, it's safe to fly because, okay, the air filtration, yada, yada, and people are masked, but it wasn't safe to go to a restaurant and go to church with a mask. Now it's safe to do everything without a mask, but it's not safe to fly without a mask. It doesn't, it doesn't compute. It doesn't. So there's two things that need to finally go away. That is one of them. And then this notion of children and masks, period, is just asinine. I mean, the fact that to fly, my 2-year-old is supposed to wear a mask. He still shits in his pants, for crying out loud. You want me to tell him to wear a mask? Really, really, you think that's something he's going to be okay with? No. You try and do it no, I'm sorry. So the fact that we say 2 and up is just so stupid. But yeah, and then just but what's going to be weird too, though, Dakich, is you're going to see people still wear them. They'll still, that's what they're comfortable with.
Oh,
yeah.
I
mean, I don't care. You do you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life or what to put on your face. Don't tell me either. That'll be really interesting then to see when people travel, how comfortable they are sitting next to other people. Then do they tell other people, do they ask other people to put one on even when they're not required to? It's going to be interesting how people respond if and when these mandates change for the transportation.
You went to a rodeo. There's no mask there, right?
There were some people that wore them though. It was almost like a fashion statement. It seemed though, they were bedazzled and pretty and the completely ineffective cloth masks. But I would say 90% of the people did not have them on. But even walking around, I mean, and it was crowded, in the convention center and within the fairgrounds, it was packed. And there were definitely some people that had them on, but very few, very, very few. By the way, the most beautiful cows I've ever seen in my life. Have you ever seen a cow at a livestock show? They're gorgeous. They're these beautiful animals. I'm telling you, their coats were immaculate. One of them looked like a freaking Shar-Pei. They're gorgeous. I didn't know cows could be so beautiful. Like I said, I'm an animal person. I think they're cute. But these cows were they were impressive. They don't mess around here in Texas.
Are they spotted? Is there a distinctive look to them?
There's all sorts of different breeds, none of which I remember. But I couldn't believe just how many some of them people are laying with their pigs and their cows. These animals, yes, they're in the stall with them and laying with them and petting them. They're like pets. I'm telling you, these cows were freaking gorgeous. I should have taken more pictures of them. But their coats were immaculate. There was this tan one. It literally looked, the coat looked like I wanted to pet it. It looked like a Shar-Pei.
A cow.
I'm telling you, they're beautiful.
10 minutes away from being on your plate.
I know. And I ate a burger before we went in there. That's so wrong. I'm sorry, guys. You're really cute, though. I'm sorry. I feel bad, but you're cute. Really good. And I'm sorry.
Tell the cow it won't happen to you. It won't happen to you. It won't. It'll happen. Yeah, it'll happen.
Gosh,
It'll happen to other people.
pig.
So you don't have a Final Four. Are you watching games today?
Yeah. Got Michigan up first, right? My sister went to Michigan, so we're excited for Michigan.
That's right.
Yeah, so it'll be a good day. I'm all in. No, I'm gonna pull the trigger here. I think it's Gonzaga, Arizona, Purdue, Auburn.
I got everybody in that, but I got Iowa over Auburn. Auburn's probably a better pick.
But Iowa's playing really well right now too. I mean,
they're playing
so
great.
Well.
Love
and that's
watching
the thing.
them.
Like it's not just picking
So
the best
well.
team; it's picking the team that's playing the best right now. So that's
Right.
what's
right.
yeah.
Allison, I went against what I've always done. Izzo will beat this team because it's Izzo. I'm like, no. I'm going to pick teams that I have watched play that I think are playing pretty damn good. I don't think Purdue's playing great, but I don't think they're playing as bad as people are thinking they're playing. Let me put it to you that way.
Do you think Davidson beats Michigan first round? Do you think, or Michigan State? Do you think Michigan State loses
Michigan
first
State?
Round? Okay.
No. I think here's the deal. Davidson's a really good passing team, and Michigan State is long on the wings, whether it's Christie or whether it's Gabe Brown, and long negates passing. And I think Michigan State's going to win it, but I only think they're going to win it like being down 5, come back and win. You know what I mean? That kind of a game. They're not going to get up 10, stay up 10. I can see them losing. Don't get me wrong, but I always go gun to head. I think Michigan State wins. I'm sad for Michigan because Devontae Jones, their point guard, is out with a concussion, and he's been playing well.
I agree.
I
agree. I hate seeing him out, and that's so tough. You don't want to lose your point guard right now. I mean, that's just brutal. I agree. I thought the same thing when I saw that. I was like, oh, and he's out at least. I mean,
I had a coach tell me when I was like a freshman. He goes, how many chances you think you get to play in the tournament? I go, 4. He goes, no. He goes, we were the day before we were going to play. He goes, you got 1. He goes, maybe you have 4, maybe, but you only have 1, so you got to make the most of it. And it really made sense to me. Like, all right. And so here's this kid, transfers from Coastal Carolina, who's playing great. Hopefully they win and he gets in there. But I can't stand that stuff when kids get hurt like that late.
Yeah.
And Baylor has one too. They're leading scorer.
Right. For I think at least the first weekend.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You got to be healthy. There's so much at play. I mean, look at like freaking Notre Dame last night, 2 overtimes just to get in. And it's just, it's so fun, but you feel for those kids that get hurt or 2, don't get the opportunity because it's so special. And it's so fun. Like, I'm just glad it's fun to see it back in full force, right? Like the fans, the site cities. Last year it was so COVID diluted and them being in lockdown and all that. So I'm just excited for these guys to get the full experience this year. And for the fans too.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. And I like that Indiana's in it, so I wear my Indiana.
I see that. Well played.
You're the best. Woo. Yeah, well, you know what? I wouldn't have wore it even if they won with that clown Archie Miller, but I love Woody, so away we go.
Well, good luck to your Hoosiers.
Thanks,
Allison.
Allison.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. Good luck to your Wolverines. I'll talk to you. That's the great Allison Williams. America owes that woman an apology. I don't give a damn what anybody says. America owes her an apology. You guys, ESPN owes her an apology. Everybody owes her an apology. Give an apology to Allison Williams. What are you doing? When we come back, you are going to want to hear my boy Jason Hammer. It is Hammer time. We're going to talk about his best bets of the day. And remember, this is a guy that's 8-0 on this show. 8-0 is pretty good. We're also going to talk a little bit about Zelensky's speech to Congress yesterday asking for United States help. Look, one of the reasons I'm here on Outkick is because America needs politics from me. You know this. I know this. We all know this. All right? So don't at me. It's Dan Dakich. Run out right now and tell your friends. I'm trying to find my damn bracket. I could probably redo it right here real quick. My daughter wants it because she wants to win. Everybody wants my bracket. I don't know. When we right back, I'll get my bracket done here. My daughter's on my ass. I can't find my bracket, so I'm filling it out the way that I would have filled it out. All right? So I'm filling it out as we speak. Our next guest, every time Jason Hammer is on, All Indiana Bets, Hammer and Nigel show, every time he's on, the internet explodes because what happens is he wins. Hammer time, are you 8-0 on this show?
No, we dropped one, I think, the last time that I was on with you. But we've been making some cash. And I can't remember if it was the Wu-Tang Clan or Benjamin Franklin who once said, and I quote, "Cash rules everything around me."
I don't give a damn who said it. I believe it. All right, before we get into that, you are the man in Indianapolis. When people want their politics, they go to 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 7, Hammer and Nigel, 93.1 on your FM dial. Zelensky gives a speech, and he gives a speech about wanting United States aids. What say you, big boy? Aid, I'm sorry.
Aid is one thing. A no-fly zone is completely different. Okay, so if you want to give aid to Ukraine, all right, fine. Now, that's kind of a tough sell for a lot of people because I was told $4 billion to secure the United States southern border was way too expensive. Yet now we're rolling out billion-dollar bills left and right for Ukraine, who's really not even that much of an ally. They're not in NATO. And if you do a little bit of history, and I get that it was a different regime, different time, all that kind of stuff. But when the United States was getting squirrely with Saddam Hussein, it was Ukraine who was on team Saddam Hussein. So let's stop acting like Ukraine is the UK, this lifelong ally, somebody that's going to have your back thick and thin. That's not the case. That being said, nobody wants to see the horrific things that we're seeing, hospitals being bombed, children being killed, civilians being killed. That's awful. It's atrocious. So if you want to give them some military aid, if you want to give them things to protect themselves, I'm okay with that. The key word, though, is themselves. Okay? The United States does not need to be in a conflict where your homeland, as of right now, is in no danger of being attacked. Oh, that's just where I stand. I don't want to see sons and daughters, our brave men and women, having to go over there and enforce a no-fly zone, okay? Because there's two parts of that. If you want a no-fly zone, okay. But you know damn well the Russians are going to violate that. And when they violate it, the enforcing of the no-fly zone means you're going to have to shoot a Russian plane out of the air. The minute you, the United States, shoots a Russian plane out of the air, you are in this thing. And why? Why do you need to be in this thing? I don't feel like the United States should be guilted by Zelensky to get in here. And don't get it twisted, Coach, because sometimes when people say this, you've got folks, on the internet that lose your mind. You're pro-Russia. You like Vladimir Putin. Nothing would bring me more joy than watching Vladimir Putin die a slow, painful death caused by syphilis. Let's not get it twisted here. But at the same time, the United States does not need to be guilted and being the aggressor that starts what would be World War III.
What I see is exactly what you're saying. If you don't just completely close your eyes and go along, you love Putin.
Right.
I mean, that's all I ever see. It's like having a normal discussion relative to defending our own country is out the window because we must deal in absolutes. If you do this, then absolutely you are for Putin. You must do this over here to prove you are not. How about we do one time in the last 2 years, how about we do something that's just best for us at some point,
right.
No?
And look what's happening in our country right now. Everything is happening at the southern border, from drugs flowing in to criminals, people you don't know, flowing in at record paces at the southern border. Let's talk about the economy. You've got high gas prices, high prices at the grocery store. Everything costs more. Inflation through the roof. So what are we doing? We're printing more money, not to give to us, but to give to Ukraine. Now, again, humanitarian in me says, yes, all right, we need to help these people in some capacity. But it's a hard sell when you tell me that we don't have enough money to take care of things at our southern border $4 billion, I think was the cost of what Trump was wanting to do with his wall. And then we're printing off billions and trillions of dollars that have nothing to do with this country. And before the people on the internet get their little panties in a wad and say, well, you're just some Republican talking point head, blah, 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 blah. This goes for Lindsey Graham, too. Graham Nasty, the Republican senator from South Carolina. He wants us to get into this thing. He wants us to assassinate Vladimir Putin. He wants us to be involved in this thing. No. Tell Graham Nasty to send some of his family members over to Russia and enforce the no-fly zone if that's how he feels.
Graham Nasty got nasty, right? He's like somebody within Russia needs to assassinate Putin. Now, that was a week or so ago. Has he come down from that statement?
No, he's holding strong, and he's not the only one. This narrative, all of a sudden, of if you don't want to do anything that Zelensky says, you're pro-Putin, has to stop. Because really, that's just what dumb people say. That's what dumb people on the internet say. And I've said this for a long time, Coach. I know you've said it. This is why Twitter is not real life. It's unserious people trying to say things just to get clicks.
The world we live in just absolutely astounds me with exactly what you said. Yet we all say Twitter isn't real life, but Twitter has certain influence, does it not?
It does. And big tech was a big part of this past election. It's funny. It's kind of buried as a story today. The New York Times is admitting, yeah, that whole Hunter Biden laptop thing, it exists. Oh, by the way, it's nice of them to put that out on the first day of March Madness, kind of early in the morning while there's a war going on. That feels like that would be a pretty big story if that would have dropped, let's say, any time before the election last year. But that's not the case. You know where big tech lies. The big tech donors, they all spend their money on one political party. You can't act like that's not the case. The challenge for the Republicans, though, is if you get power, if you win these midterms like they think they're going to do, if 2024 goes your direction, like the polling shows, you have to do something. You can't just be the party that sits around and bitches and moans and has the House, the Senate, and the presidency and doesn't get anything accomplished. Because if that's the case, you're no better than the dumbasses that we have there right now.
Yeah, and if I'm a Republican and I'm a candidate, I ain't going to sleep. Don't go to sleep election night. People think because of polling, there's nobody in the world. And look, I grew up in an area where there is election fraud. A friend of mine is literally in Greece where they can't extradite him after being tried and convicted in federal court of paving roads and having fake houses vote for him on the city council of East Chicago, for crying out loud. It's not even it's not like a presidential election, but he escaped the country. So I know that this stuff goes on. But if I'm a Republican, man, I'm not counting on polling. I want Grandma Jones sitting right in there counting votes with everyone else. And don't go to sleep because votes get found in the middle of the night, baby.
Well, that goes back to these wishy-washy Republicans, right? I'm not even mad at the Democrats for trying to get dead people to vote. I mean,
right.
You grew up in the region, Coach. Look what's going on in the state of Illinois. I think we're on a stretch of like 5 of their last 7 governors have spent time in federal pound-me in the you-know-what prison. There are crimes that take place in politics. The problem with these wishy-washy Republicans, though, like in Georgia, their governor, Brian Kemp, you allow all this stuff to happen. You are so scared to go against the COVID mob, you allowed all of this ballot harvesting and not having proof of identification when you get your ballots mailed in, all this stuff. If you want to be the one that says, hey, we need to stop cheating, you've got the power, do something with it. If you need to mail in a ballot, okay, if you're going out of town, if you serve in our military, if you're disabled or something, okay, that's fine. But we're going to do this the right way. And this ballot harvesting crap, this isn't going to happen anymore. Stacey Abrams' fat ass is not going to come to my front door, take my ballot, fill it out, and say, thank you, have a nice day. That can't happen anymore.
Everybody's afraid of being called an ist. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like if the governor You took away our. Well, you're a racist. You're a sexist. You're a misogynist. I mean, everybody's. Hey, look, I've been called everything. It ain't that bad.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. You'd be all right.
It's
You get up the next morning and go to work.
Coach. It's happened so much that it's actually watered down the term. So when you see actual examples of racism and sexism now, the term has been watered down by everybody that's a professional victim that you almost don't want to take it seriously.
I'll never forget first time I got called a racist. I was mortified. Now it's like, okay. I mean, what did I say? I didn't like Candace Parker on my television, so I'm a racist.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
There's a big difference between there's a big difference between what like my grandfather, my parents saw back in the day, what they grew up watching on the news. Like there's some examples of racism there. Voting for the other political party, that's not the same thing as what happened in Deep South Alabama. Not even close. But right now, you go on social media, you watch a lot of late night talk shows, they're acting like it's the exact same thing, and it's not even close.
No, of course it's not. Of course. And when that all started with the whole their involvement is just ridiculous. And it drives me nuts. Let's talk about some fun stuff. Give me a bet that you like, big boy. Give me something good for today. You're the best. You're the best
so here
in the
we go.
business.
This is one of my favorite days of the year, Coach. I love it. Wall-to-wall basketball. I got 3 plays for you. My favorite one of the bunch here is St. Peter's and Kentucky. This is a 7-10 tip-off here. I'm not touching that point spread, but I do like the total. Over under 132. We're going to ride the lightning, and we're going to go over. And here's why. Looking at some information here, Kentucky averaging 79.5 points per game, 83.7 points per game against teams that were not in the SEC. St. Peter's, 66.9 points per game, not the same competition level, but they shoot 35% from 3. Now, St. Peter's is 19th in the NCAA in points allowed. So they're not interested in playing any defense. And Kentucky, they're more than able to put up an 80-point total here, maybe more. 132 feels like this is a very doable number for a team that, one, is really good against another team that can score but doesn't want to play any defense. That's a recipe for an over, my friend, and we're laying that down.
I totally agree. I looked at some of the numbers that you said when you sent this to me, and I'm like, man, I feel like you better get it now because that thing's got to get to at least 135 or one. I don't know. That seemed like really, really low. There were bad lines yesterday. The next one that you like, I love. It might be my bet of the day, not named Providence, and that's Murray State. Go through it, big boy.
I can't hear the coach right now. Sorry, your audio cut out on me. I see you talking. I see that beautiful bald head kind of bobbing around and the hands waving, but I can't hear a single word you say. So I'm going to leave you with these 2 picks in case I can't pick you.
Hold on.
There we go.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
There we go. You're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
All right. Give me Murray State and San Francisco. I love this bet.
Murray State -2 over the Dons of San Francisco. Murray State is on a 20-game heater. This time of year, Coach, you know better than anybody, teams that are playing hot, teams that know how to win, they grind these things out. They got that culture of success. Ja Morant kind of laid the groundwork for these dudes back in 2019, and some of these guys are still around. I love Murray State in this one. San Francisco, only 2 wins against teams that are in the field right now, and they've played a number of them. KJ Williams is the kid I was thinking of that plays at Murray State. Played with Ja Morant back in the day. I like the Racers. You don't walk away from a heater, whether it's the blackjack table or whether it's March Madness. A 20-game win streak, that constitutes as a heater.
I agree, and I think Murray State, we all know there can be upsets. Of course there can be upsets, and the Dons are pretty good, but they're not great. It's not like the Dons come in and you go, well, they beat so. No, they're not great. They're okay. But Murray State has a chance to be great. And I'm telling you right now, people are going to say, well, Murray State's going to be looking ahead to Kentucky. No, they're not. When you're playing with Murray State, you're thinking about this freaking win, this freaking night to get to Kentucky. I'm not happy with their coach because he wouldn't come on my show for some reason, but I'll get by that. And I'm taking Murray right with you, big boy. Give me your next. Whoa. Before we go to the next one, you got anything with the Hoosiers? Hoosiers getting 3. I know we got travel problems. Anything with the Hoosiers?
Man, kind of like what Murray State's philosophy is here. Indiana's playing, I think, their best basketball of the year. They're finding ways to win when they used to find ways to lose these games. Now, that being said, that Wyoming game, you won it. Congratulations. Don't ever apologize for winning a tournament game. But that game was like hooking up with like an ugly chick at the bar, right? It's late at night. She's got one tooth. She's got a tramp stamp, a little bit of back fat, but you still take her home. You still lay the wood to her. And at the end of the night, you got your desired result. It's not your finest hour. It's not the best thing you've ever done, but you get to wake up and try again and be better the very next day. And for that very reason, I'm not above picking up the Hoosiers with 3.
I'm not either. Hey, I got no pride. I don't need, people are saying to me they're killing me. Oh, vaunted program needs 3 points against St. Mary's. Yeah. If they're going to give them, what the hell do I care?
Right.
I'm not making, what?
Indiana's going to have to get something out of somebody other than Trace Jackson Davis. They got it the other night out of Geronimo. Are they going to get good Xavier Johnson or bad Xavier Johnson today? He's the Indiana Hoosiers version of the Indiana Pacers' Lance Stevenson.
That's true. Give me your last bet of the day.
I'm going to take another total here. South Dakota State and Providence. This is 40 tip-off. You got time to get in the mix here. Over-under is set at 148.5. Now, that's a pretty big number. And unders have been crushing it so far in conference tournament season. But here's what I like about this one. These two teams play at a pretty quick pace here. South Dakota, they play at one of the fastest paces of in NCAA, the best three-point shooting percentage in all of college basketball, and they're not very good defensively. Providence, they also play pretty quickly. They're 12th in the country in free throw rate. So if I'm trying to hit an over here, I need a team that can hit three-pointers. I need a team that can hit free throws. I need teams that play quick paces. I need possessions per minute. Take that up, stir it around, take a big whiff. That smells like an over to me. It's a big number, 148.5, but we're going to lay that and we're going to go over, Coach.
And we're going to root like hell for points.
We are.
Just sit there and root. I don't give a damn who scored. Get in the bucket. Get in.
Right.
What are you missing a free throw for? What the hell's wrong with you missing a free throw?
We need fast breaks, three-pointers, free throws. We need it all, Coach.
We need, what does Izzo call them? Turnovers for touchdowns. You get in the passing lane, you get a steal, you go lay it in.
Right.
Turnovers for touchdowns, big boy. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
That's my man, the great Jason Hammer. You can hear him, 93.1 WIBC, 3 o'clock till 7 o'clock. You can watch him, Indiana Bet, Saturday morning, 11 to noon. I'm telling you, he is awesome, and we'll have those bets up so that you get them, and you're going to like them. Hey, look, let's be honest. Everybody's got a damn theory today, so you better go with dudes that are smart like me and Hammer. I gave you everything yesterday. I mean, I gave you Virginia, I gave you Wake Forest, and I gave you Wright State, and then we put them in a parlay. Yeah, I mentioned Toledo, but I didn't really care. Those are the ones I gave you, and those are the ones that I bet. Now, again, to end the show, we're also going to end the week. My bracket will be posted on my Twitter page here in a minute. You will not be able to read my writing. My writing sucks. It is the worst. But that's not my problem. That is a you problem. Over the course of this weekend, for those of you that want to continue on with our show, I will have previews all over the place on my site at Dan Dakich and on the Outkick site. In fact, there's a preview up right now that I did yesterday about Michigan. I did not know Devontae Jones was out. be very careful. Currently, we are 3-0 on our maybe 4-0. No, we missed one. I missed Corpus Christi against Texas Southern. I like the coach at Corpus Christi. I don't even know teams' names. I don't bet based on a guy. Like somebody says, well, they got Jaden Ivey at Purdue. I got to bet them. No. We'll have more previews also, certainly, of the Indiana game. And tonight, I think that the halftime stuff is so god-awful. It'll be better tonight because the games, I think, move to, I don't know what Indiana's on. But if Indiana's on that True TV with Candace Parker and Rex Chapman and them, I'm doing a halftime video. I'll probably do a pregame video and I'll do a halftime video. I'll try to get both posted on Outkick, but you can catch them on 107.5 The Fan, and you can certainly catch them on my Twitter page. To recap, I ain't mad at him. UK over 132. Look, I think UK is going to come out and play really, really well. The line was like 18, or you can probably get it anywhere between 18 and 20. Kentucky and St. Peter's, you probably should take that too. But I think Kentucky is going to play really well. I think Murray's going to play really well. I think Murray -2 might have just surpassed my bet of Providence -2 as my favorite of the day. I've already put 110 to win 100 in on Providence. I'm going to do the same thing, probably 220 to win 200 on Murray State -2. Look, I'm not sitting around here this year. Last year, it is the anniversary of me losing $4,000. The most I have ever freaking lost and will ever lose. I had to DoorDash for a year. Slaps on TV, slaps all over the place that have no character. Didn't understand why I would DoorDash. Well, the reason is because I got a little character. I owed my family. It ain't happening. It ain't happening this year. We're the road to 5,000. Right now, we're up 2,100, almost halfway there. I anticipate by the end of today, we will be halfway there. I love I love the Racers of Murray State -2. Love them. Don't like them. Love them. I love Providence -2. Love them. I love this over 132 in the Kentucky game. I'm not touching what he said on the over 148. Too many jitters can get involved in college basketball. You can start out so slow that you're behind the 8 ball on a high over like that with teams that I'm not sure about. I don't think you should pay attention to that. I am also going to take Indiana +3. And if you don't like Indiana +3 and you think it's disgraceful to my program right here, I don't care. I legitimately don't care. This is about a couple of things. First and foremost, survive and advance. Does anybody know who won second round games last year? I'll wait. I'll give you 2 teams that did. I'll give you 3 teams. Hell, I don't even know. I'll give you 4 teams that won second round games. UCLA, Gonzaga, Baylor, and who else is in the Final Four? UCLA, Gonzaga. Who the hell am I missing? UCLA, Gonzaga, and whoever the hell the 4th team was in the Final Four last year. All right? Those teams. Other than that, you don't know who won second round games, and you don't give a crap who won. Oh, Houston. You don't care who won second round games. Doesn't matter. Just win the damn game. That's it. Just win the damn game. Friday, I will have picks posted. I don't know if Outkick will do it. I'll certainly have them on @DanDakich. But it's going to be a hell of a day. And it all starts at 12:15. Be careful. I'm going to say this for the last time. Be careful with Michigan. When your point guard is out, sometimes it does not matter. Sometimes it's a help because he's playing like crap. But, and I'm putting my collar up on this one, be careful because Devontae Jones was playing well. I don't like when guys that are playing well at the point guard spot are out. That is bad business. Don't do it. My Final Four, Gonzaga, Purdue, Iowa, Arizona. Don't at me about it. My champion, Gonzaga. my winners today. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you winners. They are not my official bets, but I will give you the folks that I think are winning. And I know how this goes. If I say your team is going to win, then you're immediately going to go bet it. And then if they lose, you are immediately going to blame me. This is not my first rodeo. Michigan is still -1.5. I'd take them. San Diego State, South Dakota State, that game's gone to 3. I'm taking Providence. Memphis -3. I'm taking them. Baylor, I'm taking them to win, -20.5. They'll cover it. Longwood, Tennessee, 18. I'll take Longwood in the points. -10, Iowa against Richmond. I'll take Richmond in the points. Gonzaga, -23, Georgia State. I'll take Gonzaga in the points. North Carolina, -3.5, 4:30 game. I'll take North Carolina in the point, or given the points. UConn, I'll give New Mexico 6.5. 18 is the game, Kentucky, St. Peter's. I'll give you the 18. I'll give you the damn 18. Indiana, the lines moved down, ladies and gentlemen. I got it at 3 earlier today, but I'm not betting that one on the line. Indiana will win that basketball game, and I will take the money line on that one at +120. Don't at me about that one either. That's what I'm going to take. The Kentucky game has gone down. It has gone down to over 131.5. I'm taking that one. Creighton and San Diego State. Creighton playing well. I'll take Creighton, and I'll take the 2 points. Arkansas giving 5 to Vermont. I'll take Arkansas. I'll give the 5. Murray State, -2. I'll take Murray State, and I'm going to make it a big bet today. A big bet for me is 220 to win 200. That's a big bet. I'm not getting stupid this year. Only game I got stupid on was Indiana. Why? Because Indiana was going to beat the living hell out of freaking Wyoming. When I looked at the line, I thought it should have been 10. It was 3.5. We put every dime that we had, and now we're moving into a new house because we doubled our money. Great week this week. Ryan and Dylan, fantastic job. Thanks to Allison Williams. Thanks to my friend Jason. Thanks, Jason Hammer. Thanks to my friend, the great Flava Flav, Todd Frazier. Next week, we'll get more coaches on. Tell your friends it's the best show you've ever seen. Thanks to all my friends that are on the YouTube chat. Thanks to everybody that joined us on Twitter. I am going to be today at a place called Bottle Works, downtown Indy, doing my show from noon to 3. Come on down. Coors Light is sponsoring. We'll have some beers. We'll watch some games. We'll talk some smack. This weekend, I will have videos out on who is going to win and how they're going to win. You can see them, I hope, at Outkick. You can also see them on my Twitter site at Dan Dakich. I will also, ladies and gentlemen, I will also post who in the heck I think is going to win. I'm on a heater betting. I want to share the heater with you. Let's make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen. There are some wrong lines in this tournament. They were wrong yesterday. They're going to be wrong today. Last thing. Last night, we won 4 bets. A 3-team parlay, and then we won Virginia, NIT, Wake, NIT, and then, of course, Wright State. Look, I don't care whether it is Russian table tennis. I don't care whether it is Roy Rogers Park. I don't care whether it's the biggest game in the NCAA tournament today, or I don't care if it's the NIT. We are on a mission to make $5,000 this NCAA tournament. Money spends. If I see something in the NIT, we're going to bet it. We did it yesterday. We'll do it today. Jump on over. Get yourself a little lunch. Turn the games on. Turn my radio show on at 107.5. Join me while you're watching the games. Hell, I'll be doing play-by-play. Enjoy the weekend. Christmas for hoops, baby. Let's go.